out here most of the morning waiting for them to be done doing the lawn or whatever, their landscaping, whatever, blowing around. I'm here at the pool. And of course it's not very quiet, but it was a while ago. It was really quiet. Anyway, sitting here thinking about just life. You know, I try to clear my head, like try to be as clear-headed as possible, but sometimes it just doesn't work, you know. And so somebody on my Snapchat just asked me about my court, and I don't think that I've even gone into a lot of this court stuff online, and I think it's because a part of me had this like unfounded guilt about it to begin with, which I shouldn't, because I didn't do anything wrong. And I think it's because like I was running a little bit late to get my kid, and I knew his dad was going to pick him up, so I felt guilty that my son was going to have to get picked up by his dad, which never happens. I mean, he loves his dad, don't get me wrong, we're like partners and stuff, but like his mom has been there every single day to pick him up from school. I've been there every single day to drop him off to school. So if I'm not there, he's gonna, and because his dad's gonna be late no matter what, because his dad doesn't get off work until like they get off school. So he's gonna freak out. Somebody's not there. It's never happened before. I was mortified that my son wasn't going to see his mommy's face when he got off of school, because not that my kid couldn't handle it, because he could. But so this is what happened. I started waking up spiritually, right? I started doing mushrooms. I did mushrooms the night before this happened. You know, it was a Monday night, like into Tuesday morning, whatever, you know, because it was like probably like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning when I was done tripping. It only lasts for 4 hours tops. And I was talking to God, like trying to spiritually connect. You know, I'm doing all kinds of meditating, but on mushrooms, because I got to kill my ego, right? That's what happens. So I do it. I talk to God. God tells me, you know, Jerome is where you want to be. You need to go to Jerome. And I'm like, but Maynard's there. And then God tells me, but Maynard is your firstborn child. Maynard is the firstborn child, is what God said. And I was like, wow, my firstborn child? The firstborn child? Okay, I don't understand that. So I went to Tuesdays with Maury. I mean, I did my Tuesday drive, because for a couple weeks prior to that, I had been driving on Tuesdays after I dropped my kid off to just little towns around Arizona that I could drive to within, you know, the day, and drive home and get my kid on time. So Jerome was my favorite destination, and that was Tuesday. So I was going to Tuesday. I called it Tuesdays with Maury, where I drive and I think and I listen to music, and I, you know, go to the places up north in Arizona that I want to go. So this Tuesday, it was March 10th, I believe, which I didn't even really recognize the date at the time until, you know, after everything happened. But I go to Jerome, and it was the energy was off there. I went and sat on my bench for a while. Like, there's a bench there in the park that I like to sit in, and there's horseshoes there and stuff like that. And I sat on my bench, and I kind of waited to see if like Maynard was going to come talk to me, because I felt like our energies were like on the same level at that point, because of you know, my conversation with God the night before. But he didn't come out, whatever. And I was like, well, you know, I've always wanted to go to this this mansion that's over here, this Douglas mansion. It's a museum. Let's see what we go look at over there. So I'm driving up there, and I see all this devastation from all the mining that they've done. They've totally wrecked that area with a big ass pit mine, which is just disgusting to me. And I was crying standing outside of this Douglas mansion, which is right on the edge of this mine, and just kind of into the world saying, you know, look what you guys did to this place, this beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous creation called Earth that is now no longer this beautiful place. You guys have raped it and pillaged it. And I was a little bit loud, but also, like, we're talking about a big valley, and I'm outside. I'm not even inside this mansion or anywhere near. I'm in the parking lot. This man marches up to me and tells me that I need to just quit acting like I'm God, and that I should go kill myself on that hill because Jesus is the one and only true Savior. I was like, you need to find God, friend. Jesus is not the one and true Savior. There were lots of people that were trying to save humanity before Jesus Christ. And he said, nah, you're a suicidal imbecile. You're a suicidal idiot. Go kill yourself. And I was like, nah, buddy. And, you know, so I didn't go into this mansion. I was a little upset that this old man, and I mean like a boomer, has the audacity to tell me to go kill myself because I was saying that, you know, God was mad at everybody for what they did. Like, to the world, to the earth, Mother Nature, Mother Earth was mad. Mommy was mad, is what I was saying. So I start driving, and like, I drove the wrong way. And I was like, oh, I'm driving towards Sedona. Okay, well, I've never been to Sedona. I didn't even know that you could get to Sedona from Jerome. So I'm just like, just driving, jamming. You know me, I'm like bumping my 12s. 212, 1600 watts, I'm bumping through Sedona. Don't care, okay? There's no noise ordinance, okay? Plus, that's not even it. So, in Sedona, there's a bunch of roundabouts and shit. And so I'm going around these roundabouts, and I'm like, this guy in front of me just keeps stepping on his brakes. He wants me to hit him. Like, he wants me to smash in the back of him. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go around this guy. So I go over to the right, to go around this guy. You know, the speed limit's like 40 or 45 or something. I'm not going that much. I'm not even going 20 through these roundabouts. But, so we come to the last roundabout, which is like a double one. It goes roop, roop, and there's no reason for it besides traffic culling. Like, there's no intersection there. There's nothing besides. It's just there for traffic culling, okay? They don't want you speeding through Sedona. I get it, but now you're almost out of Sedona at this point when you get to these the two little ones to go out. This guy who I'm behind in the right lane now, who was going pretty quick at that point, you know, probably 30 or whatever, decides to step on his brakes. And I'm like, ugh. So I slow down, of course. And we go through the second one, and he completely stops. And I'm like, okay. So I go to the left. There's nobody in the left. I go to the left, besides the guy that was just brake checking me the whole way. I go over to the left. This guy sees that I'm getting over to the left, and he steps on his motherfucking brakes too. I mean, like, completely stops in the middle of the roundabout, because these guys did not want me to get past them. Why? I don't know. I feel like they were colluding together to get me to get into a car accident, because the guy that had stopped completely had a big ball hitch on the back of his truck. I would have completely totaled my car, even going 25 miles an hour, hitting that ball hitch. So I'm like, I look, I had to stop almost completely to not hit this guy. Instead, I go around. And I didn't speed to go around him. I just went around him, probably 30, 35. I get into the left lane, and I'm like, I don't want to be in the left lane. I set my cruise control, and I get over to the right. I look behind me. They're way behind me. I mean, like, not way behind me, but at least like 3 car lengths. Which just goes to show you they were stopped in the middle of the roundabout. So I'm just, I set my cruise control back at 45, which I was almost positive that's what the speed limit was. The cop told me later it was 40. Ooh, 45 or 40, whatever. And I see about, I don't know, half a song later, so probably about a mile or two, in my rear view mirrors, I see like lights coming from way back behind me. And I'm like, okay, I'm already in the right lane. There's nowhere for me to really stop. So like when they get closer, I'll slow down and get over to, on this soft shoulder kind of. So they get closer. I go over. They get behind me instead of being in the left lane. And I'm like, oh, they're going to, okay, well, there's nowhere to pull over right here. So I'm going to go to where I can pull over. So I'm going 45 on my cruise control, my adaptive cruise control. And I'm like, okay, so I see this place where I can pull over. I pull over. 2 cops get out of the car, hands on their guns, like acting like I'm a criminal. And like, I was like shitting myself. I've never been pulled over before. I don't speed. I don't drive like an asshole. I don't do anything that would have ever gotten me pulled over. I was like, and he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? I was like, absolutely not. What's the problem? Well, you were going really fast through those roundabouts over there. No, actually I had to stop, and like I almost hit somebody in that fucking roundabout, so I went around him, and he's like, oh yeah, you did. You almost caused an accident. And I was like, no. I was like, what's your name, officer? And I couldn't read his badge. I thought it said Alcatraz, like the island. And he's like, it's Alcaraz. And I was like, what's your first name? He's like, I'm the one to ask questions here. I was like, okay, what's your dad's name? Because maybe then I can identify you, because I'm your mom. Just kind of joking, but not really joking, because at this point, God has told me that I'm the mother of this creation. Like, that's what God told me. And now that I'm doing more research, I'm finding out that it's not even a joke. It's for real. I created this. I helped create this, I should say. We all helped create this. And people who are doing this stuff, these false gods, these false authorities, the archons. Anyway, they're harassing me, asking me all kinds of questions. I'm just telling them whatever the fuck I think they want to hear. You know, besides, like, I mean, I'm telling them a couple of little truths here and there, but I don't really care. Fuck them. I didn't do anything wrong. They're pulling me over. They're persecuting me. I have no idea what they're doing. I was so nervous. I'm autistic, so I'm like freaking out. Sober as a gopher, you know. They're like, well, we want you to do a DUI, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll breathe into your fucking thing, and you guys can see I'm not high, and I can go home. And they're like, shine this flashlight in my face. Of course I blew zeros. I don't drink. I wasn't high. There was no reason for them to think I was high, except for I was acting weird, which, have you met me? I'm weird. Okay, thanks. I'm autistic. I got ADHD. I got all the isms. Okay? It's just who I am. Fucking eat me. They do this flashlight thing in my eyes, trying to get my pupils to whatever they thought that my pupils were going to do. And then they asked me to walk a straight line. And I'm like, yo, you just like flashed a flashlight in my face for like 20 minutes. And how am I supposed to walk a straight line? So I'm like dizzy. I'm trying to steady myself because I'm still dizzy from them flashing the flashlight in my eyes. Tell them to follow it with my eyes. Follow it with my eyes. Dude, I did that. You made me dizzy. Now I'm going to fall over. And then I'm like, you know, I had a head wound like 2 days ago. I had